Okay, hello and welcome to the second episode of the Web Sputters podcast. My name is Nathan Thomas and I am once again joined by my lovely co-host Leon. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Not too bad. We've had a pretty interesting week. Been watching a lot of stuff to catch up with all the things that are coming out. Been watching Daredevil and Spider-Man and stuff, so it's been not too bad.
Nice.
You've been up with listening to The Weeknd's new album, so it's a good week to be alive.
My entire week for me. Yeah, so.
Pretty much, yeah. This week we're going to be talking about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Wait, is it Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man or is it The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man?
Your.
Interesting. Right? Yeah. I guess we'll see. And maybe a bit about the Penguin. So we will start off with some news. So there was some talk about Armor Wars this week, and honestly, it's not looking good. So if you tuned in last week, we know that Leon is very enthusiastic about the character of Rhodey, War Machine, but according to this week, it's pretty much as good as dead. So I got this on the movie.news.com. It says that Marvel's decision to take Colonel James Rhodey Rhodes as a Skrull imposter in Secret Invasion most likely back to the studio into a bit of a corner from a creative standpoint. Okay, this is a quote. You can find out and let me know, he joked when asked about Armor Wars. I don't know. I'm not sure where anything is right now. I think things are going through a lot of changes and we'll see what happens. We'll see what it is. Okay, so that's what Chris Evans was told. Wait, was it Chris Evans? I just have the word Evans here. This is what someone said.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Chris Evans, mate.
Yeah. So that was a while ago. How do you feel about... do you think that Armor Wars is actually going to come out?
I don't think it's coming out anymore. I think...
Right.
With the whole, Marvel now deciding, okay, we need to strip down, we need to do less quantity, more quality, whatever. They just cut the things that weren't that deep into production or weren't that high in priority. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately for me, War Machine just isn't a high priority character.
He was in the first movie.
He's been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
And Armor Wars was the perfect time to flesh out Rhodey in a world without Iron Man and see what life is like for him after that and how he has to continue that legacy, whatever. But now it's been so long since the end of Endgame. Unless the movie is set then what's the point?
It's been a long time since Endgame as well. So.
That as well. And it's been even longer in the MCU. And then, unless we're going back in time and then, having movies set in 2020 or actually, no, wait, Endgame is set, 2023 or some shit. I forgot. It's the 5 years.
2023, yeah.
But yeah, if we set the show then, but then, at that point, we've all also moved on ourselves. There's no point, really. Imagine WandaVision came out today.
Right.
Who gives a fuck? Vision's been dead for 5 years. We don't care anymore, man. But, yeah. And then the Skrull Invasion came out, so it's okay, maybe the show would then instead tackle the whole Rhodey having been replaced by a Skrull this entire time, whatever. But now it's also been a while since that, and clearly the show...
And that didn't do well as it is anyway.
That too. The show doesn't even have a script, I guarantee. So it's by the time we finally get it, whether it's a show or a movie, I remember them saying it was going to be a movie. Whenever we get it now, it will have been even longer since then.
Yeah.
And if it's going to come out after sequels, then what even is the point? So yeah, I don't know anymore.
Do you know how long he's been a Skrull for?
Okay, so I remember in Falcon and Winter Soldier, you can faintly see through his trousers or whatever that he's got the lights. He has a penis. We can faintly see through his trousers.
Green.
He has. It's got weird lines on it, their chins. No, you can see the lights of his exoskeleton thing.
Yeah.
So he's still wearing it then, whereas the scroll version can walk around. But of course, I'm sure
You can spell
if he needed to keep pretending to be like fucking crippled, he would. That's kind of the whole point, is to blend in or whatever. But so we don't really know. The Rhodey they find in the show, like the real Rhodey, he's wearing some like hospital gown or whatever. It looks kind of like he did in Civil War,
right.
but at the same time, it could still be from after that. It could, and I would hope so. If the real Rhodey wasn't there when Iron Man died, that sucks major dick, and I'm just gonna ignore that.
Wouldn't it be crazy if it turned out that the real Rhodey was Terrence Howard? And
the Rhodey we had this entire time since Iron Man 2.
Yeah, Don Cheadle was actually the Skrull, and Terrence Howard comes back and he's like, "You're telling me that none of you noticed?"
Well, you guys kind of. I don't want to say it, but like, you motherfuckers. Why am I the only one who gets a scroll that looks nothing like me? Everyone else gets a perfect duplicate. Nah.
Next time, baby. Well, that's a missed opportunity. But yeah, the thing is, Rhodey is incredibly sidelined. Maybe there's a chance that he'll appear in the new Captain America movie. I think that would be a good opportunity to bring everything kind of back together, because we kind of missed that really connected universe. That's what's been absent for a lot of Phase 4. And I just recently finished watching all of Phase 2. It was not all Phase 2, all of Phase 1. And Don Cheadle, he does a really good job as the character, and he's got some really fun lines. I really like when he, in Iron Man 2, when he's fucking being controlled by Justin Hammer, and then he, the faceplate comes off, and he's like, "Dude, you can have your suit back." And there's the scene with the, in Iron Man 3 where he shoots the light. It's like a really fun buddy cop movie, So he always does a good job as a character. One thing that I do want to know post Endgame is, how are they making more War Machine suits or upgrading it? Was Tony making the War Machine armors, or like
yes?
Does the US government have a version of it?
I mean, I assume so. Okay, it's always Tony making the stuff, but what I know is obviously, Peter made a Spider-Man costume in Far From Home with this like machine thing. I'm assuming there's got to be some kind of machine out there run by one of Tony's many AIs, like Friday or whatever, who can, in theory, make the suits for Rhodey. It's just now, it's more automated. Therefore, there's less ingenuity, less pushing of like the creativity, and like, because all the ideas were Tony's. He was just telling the robots to do it. He didn't he stopped carving out the faceplates himself a long time ago. Jarvis did everything. But it was all his ideas. Oh, Rhodey's not really the genius science guy. He'd just be like, add more guns to it. And they'd be like, where would we put it? Like, how do we do it? Like, I don't know, figure it out. Like, ChatGPT, design me an Iron Man suit type thing, is how I imagine it. But it would be really cool to see that, like, maybe after all this time, he's still stuck on the same suit we saw him in Endgame. Like, the same two he has there, or whatever.
I don't even like that suit all that much, to be fair. I like his Infinity War version a lot more.
I like all of them. Except the second one. The second one had no source. But yeah.
There was also... So, it's been overhauled, Armor Wars... Oh, wait, sorry. So Armor Wars is being... It hasn't been scrapped, apparently. It's just being overhauled. So it remains to be seen what the movie will focus on, and how it will pick up after Secret Invasion. And there were also reports that Sam Rockwell's character of Justin Hammer is, reportedly going to be in it. So I've always thought that Justin Hammer would have been a really good person to be put in Ant-Man. In Ant-Man 2, there's that villain. I've always thought that guy should have just been Justin Hammer. So I would like to see him again, but again, I don't know how accurate these reports are going to be, or anything. Yeah, you don't know anything.
He was apparently in... Justin Hammer was in What If recently, in the last season or whatever, but...
Oh, man.
I started watching that show a long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't go back to it, to be fair.
Yeah, but yeah, I just don't. I don't see the movie's gonna be a completely different thing than what it was gonna be and what we wanted at the time. Now I don't
Yeah.
even know. I'm hoping we do see Rhodey again before that. What you said about him being a Falcon and Soldier makes no, sorry, Captain America: Brave New World makes a lot of sense because A, we saw him in Falcon Winter Soldier, and B,
Yeah.
in Infinity War and everything and Civil War, he like not works for, but like I guess kind of worked for General Ross in a way.
Yeah. Yeah,
He always has to
because
report
he's
back to him
talking
and
to
shit.
him in Infinity
In Infinity War, yeah.
Yeah.
And now Ross is president, you know, so I wonder how much more power he has over him now and everything. In Iron Man 3, it was a big thing, like he had to go save the president or whatever, you know. I'm sure that could come up in some way, where
Yeah.
like Ross is like questioning his loyalty or whatever, and he's like, "Mate, I'm a patriot, and I ain't patriot." Bam, and then like music cue or some shit. I don't know.
Like, that would have been a really yeah. You
Take me out
know
of the
that
writer's room.
there's that genre of movie where there's always the president getting saved by someone. You know, there's like White House Down or Olympus Has
Yeah.
Fallen or something. That would have been a really cool like version to see. You know, General Ross. You know, pre Red Hulk. Being saved by War Machine in one of those movies. You know, that would have because those do weirdly well. That style of movie.
Yeah. Very well. R.I.P. Armor Wars. That shit ain't coming out.
And plus,
It's
Don
gonna have a different
Cheadle,
name. I'm
he's
telling you
getting
that as well.
he's getting older. Like, you know,
Yeah. We'll just recast him again. Third War Machine in a row.
yeah.
It'll end with Don Cheadle saying, "My movie's coming next time, baby," and then he's not in the movie.
All right. Well, we've also got some. Again, a lot of the news this week is just like casting speculation, but this time it's for Star Wars, Leon. So, there are. Sorry, we'll fix it in post. So there are reports that Ewan McGregor could be set to return as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the second season of Ahsoka. How do you feel about that?
Okay. Okay, well, I was like, wait, Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor.
Okay, that must be like a flashback, Clone Wars flashback thing again then. Because obviously, you know, by Ahsoka, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
And unless the Force Ghost is going to take his form for no reason other than a recast Alec Guinness or a deep faked Alec Guinness, I don't know which way Disney wants to go with that anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while since we saw the like deep faked younger actor thing.
Well, to be fair, we used to see it in a lot of the Phase 2 Marvel movies. To be fair, just a lot of the Marvel movies, you get de-aged actors. But it's been a
Yeah, but that's
it's been a
different.
while since we've seen something like that.
It's
Especially
different to
for Star
me,
Wars.
like making Samuel Jackson look like a younger Samuel Jackson, not necessarily the actual young Samuel. He looks like just a younger version of
Yeah.
modern Samuel. He doesn't actually look like young Samuel Jackson from the 90s, whatever. He just
Plus,
looks
he
like,
doesn't really need
he
it.
could look like this. He might have looked like this when he was younger. As opposed to getting Mark Hamill to look exactly like he did in Return of the Jedi, when right now he looks like fucking not that. He's got a bit of everything. He looks completely fucking different.
Yeah.
And like having cast, they have a guy like playing him, the young guy, and then they put Mark Hamill's young face on top of that. And
Even
Mark Hamill's
Sebastian
voice.
Stan like looks like young Luke Skywalker. I've seen lots of pictures of that.
He would have been a great Luke Skywalker, but
Yeah.
ah,
But
well.
the thing is, he looks flawless in the book of Boba Fett. Genuinely flawless.
But then he sounds weird.
Yeah, which
his-
is weird because
his-
Mark
his
Hamill is
voice
a
was-
voice actor. Like, just sound
Yeah,
young.
they used some weird kind of like voice AI thing as well. It was really whack. And yeah, I just don't know where they're going to keep, because we haven't seen that since then, and I don't know if they're going to keep doing that or not.
What's your
They
opinion?
didn't bother de-aging Hayden Christensen in
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
He needed
didn't
it,
even
bro. he don't look 19 no more.
Yeah, like
What's your opinion on Ahsoka, the TV show?
it's been a while now. I remember I was just watching it, but I liked some of it. I don't think I disliked anything that harshly or anything. I just kind of just watched it and enjoyed what it had, and then I
Yeah.
moved on.
Yeah.
The like Anakin scenes and everything. That episode was great. The Clone Wars stuff. But then yeah, nothing else really. Like I don't really remember much of the show, so I guess it didn't have that
Right.
much of an impact on me.
I really liked the first half, and then by the second half, it kind of just meandered. I feel like it was a lost opportunity, and it kind of left things in a really bad way. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars Rebels, and it is a loose continuation of that. But then again, I didn't mind, the majority of the show. I do find the whole Sabine being a Jedi thing to be really strange, as there's no hints towards that in the actual Rebels TV show, like, at all. But Ahsoka and Sabine being left in a different dimension as well is kind of an interesting way to leave things. In terms of the Ahsoka and Obi-Wan Kenobi relationship, how do you feel about that?
I think that needs to be not necessarily explored more because, of course, we had the Clone Wars TV show. We got a lot of it, but I'd
Yeah.
like to see how that's left her like now because we saw it then. We don't see like all she thinks about now is like her current cast of characters or Anakin and now he's Vader and how that's all impacted her. I'd love to see like her speak with Obi-Wan again and have them talk about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because now she's also spoken to Anakin again in the show and everything, and everything's all fine and dandy now. But I'd like to hear from Obi-Wan's words on this much older, and now he's seen the redemption, how he feels about that.
Yeah.
Which would be an interesting point, because, Anakin killed kids.
Anakin did a lot of bad things.
And the Force
And-
is like, you did one good thing, my guy, come to heaven.
Well, that's the
come
thing,
with us.
because it might be a bit jarring to see Hayden Christensen's Force Ghost, which is in Ahsoka, interact with, I guess, it would have to be Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I guess it makes more sense to bring Ewan back, but then it doesn't narratively make sense. But I don't know, different dimension.
Yeah,
Who knows
I
how
don't
any
know.
of this shit works? It's the Force,
God
I
knows.
guess. Or is Ahsoka's memory of Obi-Wan Kenobi, which would be Ewan McGregor's.
Yeah, I mean, if it means we get to see Ewan McGregor wear the Clone Wars armor that Obi-Wan had in those first 3 seasons, that'd be pretty
Hell
cool.
yeah.
It was cool seeing Hayden Christensen wear that, even though it didn't look perfect. It looked a bit like it didn't.
I
fit,
prefer
or
the
maybe,
Obi-Wan
I don't know.
Kenobi armor to the Anakin one anyway. I think the white
Yeah.
looks better, especially when it's just on the arms. It's good stuff, man. It's a good suit.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I like the idea that Obi-Wan Kenobi is kind of like views Ahsoka as what would be like a niece. Or like, I don't know, they have an uncle-niece dynamic. That's what I gather when I watch the Clone Wars. And I find it funny that Obi-Wan thought that he was going to get Ahsoka first, in the sense that, like, Ahsoka was meant to be his Padawan, and then
Yeah.
Yoda was like, no, fuck that. You're going to Anakin. Which works really well for Anakin's character development during the Clone Wars anyway.
Yeah,
But I really enjoy when the three of them are together, especially how they were trapped on the Mortis arc, and Ray Stevenson's, was it Ray Stevenson's? Baylan Skoll was kind of doing a side quest which involved that the grandfather or whatever his name was. It's been a while since
Yeah.
we've watched the Clone Wars, listeners.
and now that
so-
actor's dead as well, so I don't
Yeah.
know. He's unfortunately
Apparently,
passed. I don't know
he's
what's
going to
gonna
be
happen
recast as the guy who plays the Hound in Game of Thrones. I forget his name.
now. Quickly pull it up.
Yeah.
I'll just pull it up.
Baylan Skoll's going to be recast by Rory McCann, who was in Game of Thrones. He played the Hound. I don't think that they look similar, but
Well,
I
now
know
it's
he
Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle, but yeah, here we go.
I know that this guy can swing a sword, and I know that he's got intensity in his eyes. So that was Baylan Skoll.
Alright.
So yeah, that's the Star Wars. Actually, there's more Star Wars news. because apparently Henry Cavill is being eyed to play an undisclosed role in an upcoming Star Wars movie. So this could be the Rey-focused movie, which is also meant to be titled New Jedi Order, which will also feature someone from the previous sequel trilogy as well. So some people think John Boyega. I personally think John Boyega is done with Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think this guy was done so dirty by Disney. He was marketed with the lightsaber and everything. Stormtrooper turned Jedi. I think that was fucking sick idea, and they really just scrapped all of that. All of his dialogue is just him shouting Rey. So I do think that John Boyega
ends with a
wants to come
tease
back.
that he's Force sensitive or some shit.
Oh, what were they doing?
And then the Lego holiday special actually follows up on that because the movie
What?
wasn't going to do it.
Okay, Henry Cavill. How do you feel about him being in Star Wars?
I wonder what he would be, because I remember having the same kind of level of like, yo, they're gonna get some. It was before Force Awakens, and Daniel Craig's gonna be in Force Awakens. Yo,
Right.
that's insane.
James
and then the
Bond
film
in
comes
Star
out.
Wars.
It comes out, and you don't see him anywhere, and you're thinking, huh? And it's like, yeah, I was that stormtrooper that got brainwashed, and it's like, oh. I thought it was gonna be a bigger deal than that, but that's cool, I guess.
You know,
it might just be
Pegg.
that. We're gonna
Simon
see a
Pegg's in Star
giant
Wars.
fucking roided stormtrooper and gonna go, that's probably Henry Cavill, isn't it? He's like the tallest one there, the biggest one, custom made armor to fit him, and he's gonna like walk past and say something in a British accent, and we're gonna go, yo, that's him, that's him. Yeah,
The fucking stormtrooper mask comes off, camera pans up. It's
He's
Henry
wearing a
Cavill with a
mustache.
mustache.
or just his armor has like a mustache over the little like the mouth line on the stormtrooper helmet.
Oh, it's stupid. I love this guy's fucking mustache.
He's gonna like have dual wielding pistols, and he'll do his little like arm reload thing before
Yeah.
he shoots them. Yo, actually, that's what I want. I tell you what, everything I just said, I was making fun of it. This is the second time now I was making fun about something to do with Henry Cavill showing up in something, and now realizing I want it to happen. I need to see. I don't want the camera to be focused on him. I just want an army stormtrooper, and then you see like on the far right the big one, and he reloads his pistols like that, and then he keeps firing. You're like, oh my god! And then you get an interview after, like, yeah, I've always wanted to be in the Star Wars movies. It's just a small role, but you know, can't wait. And it'll be the exact same thing as the Daniel Craig thing.
That
Oh
would
my
be
God.
sick. That would be so cool. It's
Disney,
done.
I have nothing but free time. Please, I'm right here.
Please. Oh man, I think that Henry Cavill should stay far away from Star Wars. I think the state. Do you want to do an episode on this? The state of Star Wars now, because I think Star Wars is in the worst place it's been since the early 2000s. Genuinely,
Ugh.
it's in a
In
really
a bad spot.
it's in purgatory right now. And we haven't had a Star Wars movie since 2019, and everything we've got since then. Some of there's been highs, but there's been a lot of lows, man. And I think Henry Cavill needs a win, especially how things didn't work out well with Superman and whatnot. So I do think that he needs to be treated well. This guy,
Yeah. Like, Marvel, say what you want about Marvel and the state it's in, or it's been in, whatever, whenever you want to say it's resurged. But everyone's always going like, oh, all these shows are ass and the movies or whatever. But, like, at least they had movies coming
At
out.
least they had
And some of them
movies.
were good and some of them made money and whatever. Deadpool Wolverine came out. You can't have that with the shows. No matter how good the show is, it's not going to be seen by as many people as people who watch the movies.
no, because The
No one is-
Mandalorian was fantastic.
Yeah,
and it
everyone loves The Mandalorian.
wasn't the same. It wasn't the same, Leon.
It's not as many people have seen Mandalorian as they have Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi, Force Awakens,
And plus,
all the films before that.
I don't know. For me, there is a genuine childlike excitement I get when I'm in a movie theater and I see in yellow writing a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away,
Blue.
and then I hear, brrr, yeah, thanks, man. I hear
That
I
part's
hear
blue. The rest is yellow.
I hear the Star Wars theme come on, It genuinely gets, even for movies which I'm not excited for. I don't even want to go and see The Rise of Skywalker in cinema, but as soon as I read the blue writing, goddamn, it does get me excited. So
Somehow, Palpatine has returned.
The dead speak. So that's the Star Wars news. But Leon, more excitingly, Daredevil Born Again has had its episode titles revealed.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Have you seen this before?
No. Again,
Really?
this entire week, I've not seen many Marvel's things on my feed or anything.
Oh, okay. Right. Genuine reaction. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 episodes. So episode 1, Heaven's Half Hour. Episode 2, With Interest. Episode 3, The Hollow of His Hand. Episode 4, Straight to Hell. Episode 5, Sic Semper Systema. I think that's a law thing. Oh my god, 6.
Say it
I
again,
Love
sorry,
Joy.
I didn't catch you. You cut out. Can you say that one again, please?
Wait, which one? Damn you, Leon. 7, Excessive Force. 8, Art for Art's Sake. And 9, Optics.
Okay. Man, that first episode has like a banging title, and then the finale is
Heaven's
called
Half
Optics.
Hour. I think the speculation online is that Karen Page or Foggy Nelson or both of them, someone's gonna fucking die in the first episode. I think that's why it's called Heaven's Half Hour or whatever.
Fucking not those two.
Karen can go.
I know. I don't think she should go just now. Like, it's been so long since season 3, and they weren't even going to be in the show at first, and then they realized, this is a terrible idea. Let's bring everyone back, and now here we are. You can't then go like, we went through all this effort to bring them back, and then one of them dies in the first episode. Do it for the next season, sure, whatever you want. But I think for this, bring everything back. It's like, I think the same mistake they did with killing off Han Solo in Force Awakens.
Yeah, exactly.
Too soon. After waiting this one for him to come back. Kill him in Last Jedi. Do we want?
Especially when...
I think Force Awakens, not just yet.
You don't even get to see a reunion with Han, Luke, and Leia, but that's a very different conversation. But
Plus, at least Force Awakens is a full movie. That's like 2 hours of Han Solo. Whereas this would be one episode of Daredevil, and it's like...
He was the best part of that movie.
To an hour. And then we're going to kill off one of them? Like, way too soon. So, yeah.
There's a hand reference in the 3rd episode, the hollow of his hand. I'm not sure if that's meant to be like the hand, or if that's meant to be
something like Christianity verse or some shit I don't know about.
Spitting bars. Yeah.
The episode was called something Straight to Hell or some shit. Yeah. Guaranteeing you, Wilson Fisk is murdering the shit out of someone in that one. With like a car door or some shit.
Car door,
elevator door.
Trap door,
some kind of door.
I'm glad we're on the same page, Doggy door, like...
fucking basement door or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But... or, in fact, wait. Alright, peep game. We get... Okay, think about this. It's a separate thing. Think about like Spider-Man 1 and how you get the origin of Peter and Green Goblin at the same time. Yes, they happen on the same day, and they play the scenes like one after the other. Think about Revenge of the Sith. You get the Obi-Wan Anakin fight and the Yoda Palpatine fight at the same time. It's actually interspliced and everything. Yeah. Now imagine this. Straight to Hell. Wilson Fisk, he's doing his regular Fisk things. Vanessa, how dare they disrespect you? And then he kills someone with one of the many doors around his house.
Yeah.
At the same time, we get interspliced with a scene of Matt finally breaking his rule and killing someone. Because whilst it's a rule that he shouldn't do it, he has sometimes done that in the comics.
In the comics he has, yeah.
I think this is the perfect time to do it. And with Vanessa, like, Straight to Hell, man. You gotta do it. And I think him just killing someone won't hit as hard unless you literally see at the same time the villain doing the same thing, and it makes you realize this is why Matt doesn't want to do it, because it makes you like the villain or whatever. And that's like a thing they always say. But when you actually see it side by side, that's what's gonna like really hit.
That's amazing. And like you can see like the blood on the helmet or on Matt's face, the way that it's on Wilson Fisk's after he sees himself kill like his fucking dad. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Parallels, symmetry, it rhymes, poetry. What did George Lucas say? You know?
Disney, hire this man.
Come on.
It will make you so much money.
I just clocked, he has a couple suits, or he has like a couple cows. One of those is silver, like white. Imagine he's wearing the white suit, like the white Kingpin. And the blood all over that white suit. Oh my days!
Just like Moon Knight.
It is like Moon Knight, except we'll actually see it this time instead of cutting away in every fight.
Yeah. So art for art's sake, we'll focus on the villain Muse, which is a serial killer with the penchant for using his victims as a means of twisted artistic expression. Apparently.
He probably like strings up on the ceiling or some shit, make some weird like mosaics type shit.
Damn, why does anyone want to live in Hell's Kitchen, bruh? Like
Hell's Kitchen is the Gotham of Marvel. Bro.
it's so ghetto. It really is. So that pretty much rounds up the news for this week. So how do you feel about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man?
Well, your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was actually decent. I remember we were talking about it on the last episode, like, how I'm optimistic for it, but I don't like how it looks. And now we've gotten it, and I like it, except I don't like how it looks. I'm actually a bit more 50-50 on it now, but for the most part, I'm not fucking with it.
Yeah.
So the background characters, like once you get past like maybe 3 people, the rest are 2D drawings that don't move.
And it shows. It really shows.
You get one dorky guy like in the party, and this one was inexcusable because at least with the other ones, like, okay, why are you looking all the way back there? Keep your eyes on the main characters. There's that one scene in the party where Nico like walks out, and it's a angle where it's like she's walking from left to right, and there's people in front of her and people behind her. And unlike the other times where it's 2D background characters, they're so far away you shouldn't be looking there. This guy's right behind her, and they're all frozen, and his eyes move. He's looking left and right for no reason, but his head's not moving, his mouth's not moving, nothing. It was fucking uncanny. It looked weird. I hated that.
Strange. Yeah. I find it very distracting. Do you think we should talk non-spoilers and then spoilers, or is there much we can really spoil about this? Do you just want to go all in?
Yeah, let's go all in. There's not. If you haven't seen the show, it's on Disney Plus. 2 episodes are out.
2 episodes out at the time of recording. Go watch them. They're not that long. If you have Disney Plus, if you don't, what are you doing, man?
Broke.
Yeah,
so me. I'm just using yours. Reach off someone else then. If you're struggling like that, come on, man. So,
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, episode 1. What did you think?
So yeah, I liked it. I actually also I didn't even write this in my notes. I forgot. I actually surprisingly found the show funny sometimes.
Me too. Yeah. It's lighthearted in a way.
I like the little jokes. Like Nico like tells Peter her name, and he gets bit by the spider. And he goes, she's like, all right, I didn't name myself. Then he passes out. Aunt May runs over, and she said, what happened? Like, I don't know. He just passed out. I think he didn't like my name or something. It's a stupid joke, but I liked it. And a lot of little jokes like that happened.
That was the funniest joke I wrote down in my notes here. Is that, where is it? He gets hit by that fucking taxi. So you see, like in like the Miles Morales one, he the taxi comes out off the street and he does like a flip over it. And then there's also like, Spider-Man dodging the car in Spider-Man 2 after that taxi didn't stop for no one, man. He got hit by that taxi. He did not do a flip.
No, yeah, he And he has his powers by this point, but I guess he
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
have Spidey sense.
Well, that's a thing I have written down here. Shall I go through some of my notes?
Yeah, go.
So, well, okay. If you haven't seen this episode, the basic outline is Peter Parker. It's his orientation day for high school at Midtown High, but then it's interrupted by Doctor Strange fighting a demon creature, which ends up with the school kind of being a bit destroyed. So he's forced to go to this other school. Oh, sorry, yeah. But he's bit by a spider. Boom, spider powers. He's going to this other school. He's partnered up with Lonnie, Lincoln, and he gets a internship at Norman Osborn's place. Oscorp. At Oscorp. There you go.
Nice.
So that's pretty much the first episode. He doesn't really do that much Spider-Manning, but I think it works for just character, getting used to these characters, character development, and all that crap. You meet the characters of Nico, Pearl, Peter, Aunt May, and you even meet Harry as well. So on my notes, I have the opening is cool. So that's nice. It's the electric guitar Marvel.
You're right.
Thank you. It is cool.
Sorry,
it's got
I was taking the piss. He finally has a theme song again for a TV show.
Amazing. Yeah. It's great. I really like that. It's different as well. Look, man. Leon loves Spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular is I love the '90s show.
And we haven't had that
Spider-Blood
since Spectacular.
Exactly.
Because the Ultimate show had, boom, the title, and
Same
then the web
with the
pulls it, and that's it.
2017. Yeah.
Yeah, so then he just swings on, sitting onto the title, and that's it.
Yeah.
The fuck, man.
And even the Marvel logo, when the show starts, it has like Fantastic Four in it. It ends with the Black Panther's T'Challa, Star-Lord from What If as well, and I really like that detail as well. So that's really cool. Also, it has the same font as the one in the movies, in the Civil War movie. Queens in the white font.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, a lot of the DNA of the show, back when it used to be an MCU Spider-Man prequel, is clearly still in here.
Yeah.
I mean, even just the fact that, like, the premise of the show is he's about to go to Midtown, but then he goes to a different school. It's like a what if thing. It's like, oh, what if one thing changed? But everything else is still MCU adjacent. It's Tom Holland if he went to a different school and he was picked up by, and they recreate the scene from Civil War where he meets Tony. They do it with Norman Osborn instead. It's literally, what if one thing happened to him differently and now he's in a different path?
Different universe. Yeah.
Of course, there are other changes that clearly wouldn't be in the MCU or have already been contradicted or whatever. But you can see at first it seems to be what the premise was like early on, and they just stayed over. But yeah,
I really like that Peter's always late, and there's a bit where he's late for the train. He opens the bag. You think it's gonna be the Spider-Man suit, and it's not. It's just like his lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you're like, this is before you got powers.
It's a clever, subtle way. Yeah, exactly. It feels like there's payoff.
Yeah.
What else do I have here? He doesn't
idolize... They might recreate that same thing in the final episode when he gets a new suit. Like a more Spider-Man looking suit. They'll recreate the backpack thing again.
I love setup and payoff, please.
I'm calling it now.
Hit prediction, episode 2.
Let's go. In fact, in the opening theme, we see they have that little corner thing that comic issues have, where it's like a little illustration.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And they flip through a bunch of those until they land on one, which is the costume Peter has in this show. So we also see a few ahead. We see like 2 or 3 ahead. One of those looks exactly like the Homecoming homemade suit, but it has webbing on it. I like that one a lot.
That is cool.
It looks really nice. I want to see that one.
He was drawing a bunch of costume designs as well in there.
Yeah.
And it did look pretty cool. He doesn't idolize Iron Man, but Iron Man exists in this universe.
Yeah. Thingy, Aunt May has like a little
bubble thing.
Car air freshener.
Yeah.
Of Iron Man in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually does like Iron Man. He just hasn't mentioned it yet.
Yeah.
We'll see with that. But yeah.
Also, I've written down, his body didn't change. So he got bit by the spider, still exactly the same. I'm starting to think that maybe Tobey Maguire's one's the only one who was just that sickly looking that he got super buff. Because Andrew Garfield's body didn't change.
Eyesight and everything.
Well, that's another ring I've got written down here. This Spider-Man wears glasses.
Oh my god, he does!
Exactly! And I don't like that.
But what about when he puts the mask on?
Exactly! Are those prescription lenses? Or is the glasses like just for show?
Maybe, actually. That'd be smart, because you can't just go like, hey, I can see now. Because eventually you'll see he doesn't have contacts anywhere in the house. And then you'll have to go buy contacts that he's not even fucking using. He doesn't even have that kind of fucking money. So yeah, I guess he just wears the glasses to keep it up.
This is in all caps. He wears glasses post-bite, ? In my note. So
Man,
very, very strange to me. I need someone to talk about this because it was really bothering me. Okay, so my biggest problem as well is why is Uncle Ben dead before Peter gets powers?
Okay, that's one of the other things I think was definitely because it was gonna be MCU. Because obviously he didn't learn great power comes great responsibility until Aunt May died.
Yeah.
So they still wanted to show, yeah, he had an Uncle Ben, and he did die, but it wasn't Peter's fault, which is why he has to learn this lesson years later.
Maybe Uncle Ben's not dead. Maybe he just left. Because you and I had this theory years ago that Uncle Ben is just a bad bloke. And maybe in this version, Uncle Ben just had an affair and dipped.
I don't remember.
Did they say that he was dead? I watched it today.
I think it's a bit more explicit. Yeah, I think they do say
he's gone. I don't think.
Plus, actually, dead. Okay, I don't think he just ran off because before they said his name, they said something like "This past year's been tough." Or they kept it vague, and then Aunt May's wedding ring shines. It has a little twinkle. And I'm like, that's a nice clue. So yeah, Uncle Ben did it, or she had a husband of some kind, unnamed. But then Peter goes, Aunt May, Uncle Ben, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're just going to straight up say it. Okay, cool, thank God. But yeah, they teased it first. So yeah, she thinks of him fondly still. So I think he is just dead, like the regular Spider-Man origin.
In that case, I hate the fact that he is not responsible for his uncle's death. This is the one thing that drives Spider-Man to be a better human being and a better hero. So in my notes, I've got either he's just too nice because his career as Spider-Man doesn't start with guilt and regret. Maybe this is what happens when you have a Spider-Man in a universe where there's other superheroes. Maybe it's like you get powers. Of course, you're just gonna become a superhero.
Yeah. Again, they got the little Iron Man air freshener. Of course, Captain America's a big figure since the 40s or whatever. Yeah. Again, it probably was when it was going to be MCU. They thought, okay, we can't have him be great responsibility, whatever.
But just change it. Just change the script. I hate that so much. I'm not saying we need to see Uncle Ben die again, but I just feel like
I want to see it.
He's got a boner
on the ground, bleeding out. Peter's crying over him.
I need his
Uncle
body.
Ben.
Yeah, Uncle Ben. Yeah, exactly. But I just think that he needs to be responsible because I think that is the genuine core to the character. In that case, what's motivating this Spider-Man?
Being a good bloke.
That sucks, man. That sucks. It should be out of remorse, just regret. Every time he saves someone, he should be thinking about Uncle Ben, Leon. So that's just a thing. Also, I don't like the way that he is bitten. I'm not gonna, I'm not crazy angry about it, but I do think that the way that Spider-Man should get bitten should be a grounded version, if that makes sense. Because the spider comes through Doctor Strange's portal, whereas, you know, in comics and stuff, they're, you know, on like a science fucking trip or whatever, and the spider could have bit anyone, you know? And obviously the spider did bite anyone, it bit Peter, but I just think it's a bit, I don't know, it's just different. It's like...
It is different.
It's flashy.
I wonder what that means, because, like, is it from a alternate Earth that it's meant for a different Peter Parker or some shit like the Spider-Verse thing?
Yeah, see, that's
Or
my
is
first
it-
thought. I don't want that. I don't like that idea for this show.
Because it is weird. And that alternate... Is it the same alternate world that this demon creature that looks like a symbiote came from?
Exactly. It
looks
opens
just
too
like
many
Venom.
doors, yeah. And
So-
also, you'll notice that the spider just fucks off afterwards. So it does this, and it goes like onto a bag. So I'm thinking, did Cindy Moon pick up that bag? Are we going to get a version of Silk? Because that could be pretty cool.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, because you don't
Yeah,
see
that's a
who
good
picked
point.
up the bag.
Yeah. Forgot about
They
that.
just walk off. So I found that to be quite strange. But speaking of strange, I've got some Doctor Strange notes. So he uses his MCU theme. I like that.
Yes,
a lot.
I love that. I had that written down as well. As soon as I clocked that, I got pretty geeked up.
Also, Peter does not know who Doctor Strange is. So I'm assuming that if Civil War came out in 2016 and Doctor Strange came out in 2016 as well,
Yes.
then the Sanctum Sanctorum is definitely hidden from the rest of the world, and I don't think that that's by accident. And also, he still has the Time Stone, so I don't think that.
Yes. Or he
Then-
has the Eye of Agamotto. Like, it could be just a different... Because he has that again in Multiverse of Madness, but there's no Time Stone inside anymore. And in the comics, it was never the
That's
Time
a
Stone.
good.
It was just a
never
different
Time
kind of...
Stone.
thing.
Okay. Well, he's got a time device.
But an Eye of Agamotto.
So sorry.
He's got the yellow gloves. I like that.
Oh yeah, the oven bits, the back. Good to see him. It's good to see him out there.
Yeah. His voice, though, yeah, he sounds nothing like someone trying to put on a Benedict Cumberbatch impression.
This is a
He
different
just sounds like
bloke.
this is just a new Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He got different facial hair as well and everything. Our friend Hadifa did not like it. He was like, "Oh,
right.
the mustache is weird." I'm like, "All right, man, I don't care. this is different Doctor Strange."
Do you think we'll see him again?
Yes, because he just kind of like fucked off really quickly, and it was too open ended. You don't know. We still have no answers to that, and they wouldn't go out of their way to design this Doctor Strange and do this new origin where if they're not going to follow up on that at all. Because otherwise, you might as well just had the spider crawl out the fucking sewer and bit Peter or some shit, or do some other random way.
But
Instead of this whole action scene, which is a lot more, definitely more expensive to animate, and they're struggling there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's an interesting point.
I do
the
like
spiders
Doctor
from the
Strange.
world.
Yeah, I don't like that, but I do like Doctor Strange is always popping up and doing a weird thing across all the mediums. He's always just doing something weird,
Yeah.
something strange. Also, okay, so I've got this version of Spider-Man has got unconscious sticking, which is the only person we've seen to do is Andrew Garfield. So wow, that was a really badly formed sentence. Let me try that again. This version of Spider-Man can stick to walls while he's unconscious, and we haven't seen that since Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Unconscious sticking. Yeah,
Yes.
man. We all suffer from that very time to time, buddy.
What I mean is, when he woke up, he was on the ceiling, and the only time we have ever seen another Spider-Man take a nap is Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And I
He's
like
sleeping
that.
on his ceiling.
On the
window
ceiling.
Or some shit.
Yeah, I thought if I was Spider-Man, that would be cool as hell, man. And I'm glad to see it again.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wonder how that works because, in the Spider-Verse movies, they talk about you have to be calm
And
to detach.
relax.
Um,
This is Peter
I'm
Parker.
pretty
He's
damn
never
calm when I'm
calm.
sleeping. Well, that as well. But I'm pretty relaxed when I'm sleeping. I don't know how I'm going to be sticking to the ceiling. So yeah, they obviously use a different logic.
Yeah.
I wonder how it works in this one. But yeah, what else have we got? Okay, so I've got a couple Easter eggs. So obviously, the Venom creature thing. God knows what that is. God knows if we're going to get any follow up. Maybe next time we see it, the symbiote will come off that creature, and then it'll stay in our
Oh.
world, and then Peter gets it eventually
Yeah.
for like the next season. That'd be cool. We get the do a flip guy.
Right,
The
you were
guy in
saying,
Homecoming
yes.
who's like, Spider-Man, do a flip!
You're the
And he's in
Spider-Man
Shang-Chi
from
recording the
YouTube.
fight.
Oh,
Um,
right. Okay.
So we see him really quickly. That Spider-Man does a swing past him, and he like falls over, and then he gets back up, and he has
didn't
like the
flip.
same hair and everything, and is like, I called it out really quickly. Like, that's the do a flip guy. So that to me, I'm pretty sure that's him, and I saw other people say the same thing. So I feel pretty good in that. The Civil War scene recreated. Obviously, we already talked about that. Doctor Strange theme. We got Lonnie. Fucking
Yes,
Tombstone
Lonnie
is in the
Lincoln.
show.
I clocked that immediately because
Yeah.
he's the only brother I know called Lonnie.
Yeah.
That's Tombstone, and he's so nice.
He is the best. I love his. He's my favorite character in the show so far.
I really
He's
hope
such a
nothing
nice
bad
guy.
happens to this guy.
Yeah,
actually,
I hope he doesn't get like covered in chemicals or anything and like turn bleach white and then file down teeth and impenetrable skin.
Okay.
Or something.
My problem with Lonnie is that, well, in my notes, I was writing down these notes as I was watching the episode, and I've got, Lonnie's really likable, and you see a different side to this character, and then it makes me think that this show lacks identity. It lacks. I don't know what it's trying to tell me, Leon, because I feel like it's trying to be invincible. Because you remember that episode in season 1 of Invincible, and you've got that like really chill black guy who's just trying to like stay out of the hood, and like he's got a daughter and shit, and like
Yeah.
it turns out that he's actually just a really bad bloke. He's even got like the Tombstone powers. He's that rock brother.
Yeah.
And like I'm seeing in this episode, I'm like, oh damn, look, he's got a nice family and he's got a really cute girlfriend, and like he's just living in the wrong side of town, but he's trying in school. Like when he inevitably turns into a bad guy, I could see how they're going to be like, Lonnie's not a bad guy. He's just trying to support his family and like whatnot. And I feel like this is just pretty much the same story from Invincible. Even the flat animation from Invincible, the sounds, it sounds exactly the same. Listen to the audio from Invincible and the Spider-Man show. It's exactly the same. I just don't know what this show is trying to be.
I think. I don't know yet. I think we've only.
It's too early, yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving it a bit more time. I'm just now clocking because I forgot to write this as a note, but I just clocked this. Lonnie Tombstone, nice guy. Also, he's not albino in this.
Yeah. There's
He is
melanin
very
all over
much
that, brother.
a melanized black man, whereas Tombstone is very much bleached fucking white. And he like in his origins that he was bullied as a kid from. It's like he was always albino. It's not like a consequence of him getting the powers, but it looks like that's what this show is gonna do. Or maybe it's a misdirect. Maybe he'll get his powers, but he won't turn white.
He will turn
then I
black
think-
instead.
I think like, or he'll stay the same. Is what I was gonna say. But then that's a whole new problem because now you're erasing a whole part of his origin that's like very unique to Tombstone. You don't just how many albino superheroes or supervillains do you know?
Actually, I don't see race.
So none then. Thank you. Yeah, and now the one like Marvel villain that you can think of, except maybe that one guy in Luke Cage. I'm pretty sure there was one, right? In Luke Cage, there's an albino villain. Other than him, Tombstone's the only one. And now they're gonna either make it a consequence of his powers or erase it entirely. And I think that's pretty shit.
For all my albinos out there, man, I'm sorry.
Because it's like, imagine, what's his face? Fucking,
Ryan Gosling.
I don't know.
Black Panther. Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of like that. But I was going to say more like, imagine another disability that a character...
Daredevil. Like,
Actually, no. Bad example. Fuck knows. I don't know. Just imagine a character has had a disability and they've always had it. But then a show comes
like
out
if
and says,
Professor
"No,
X
they
just
got
starts
it."
walking, like what the fuck, man?
Well, no, that thing. Okay, imagine Professor X. You see, like in First Class, he's out and about walking around, and you're like, cool, cool, cool. Then he never gets the wheelchair, or B, he gets the wheelchair when he gets his powers. When it's like, well, what the fuck? But it's actually worse because this guy's a villain. So it's like, oh, he's only a villain because his powers gave him a disability. Like that's a pretty fucking shit thing to say. Imagine, it's like all those there's a stigma around villains with like facial scars or wheelchairs or whatever, because it's the same thing there. Like disfigurement has turned them into a bad guy, and it's like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty shit way to look at it. Imagine all the guys who are disfigurements are just good people or whatever. Like they're like all they see on TV.
Doesn't matter
this guy
that
turned
Darth Vader
evil.
had his arms and legs chopped off and thrown into fire. Still a
It's
good
like
guy in
that.
there.
It's like the guy in one of the James Bond movies. In fact, a lot of James Bond movies I think have that.
Right.
The guy played by the dude from Mr. Robot and Until Dawn. He's in there. He's got a scar,
yes, he,
and that's
yes.
a big part of his backstory of why he
Rami
became a
Malek's
villain.
character.
That's his name.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like that's so weird. I don't know. And this is like the inverse of that. Well, not inverse. It's the same thing here, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I wonder how they're going to tackle that. Maybe
Tackle?
they'll
Because
maybe they'll replace nice his. Okay, even this I don't like this idea either. But replacing his albinism with like the thing Michael Jackson had. What it's called?
The
Vitiligo. That's
Yeah,
it.
there you
So
go.
maybe he will just start like losing his melanin as he goes across or whatever. But again, that still leads to the whole like, unless they make sure it's like 100%, this has nothing to do with him becoming a villain. This is merely a second issue he's struggling with.
This is
So
just
then
a
it's
thing
like-
that some people have.
Yeah, but then I'm worried it will get confused that way, in the bad way, or like I think why are we replacing one condition with another condition as if they're interchangeable, and I don't know. It's weird to me.
We are not qualified.
We are not. But I
Answer
feel like
this
I should just put that out there
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
for anyone who is qualified to to talk about it instead. But we'll see. That was my point on Lonnie. I like seeing his family life. His family's
man.
nice people. He doesn't have a tough life or anything. Obviously, he doesn't get bullied from being albino from friends at school or kids at school. Sorry, not friends. Obviously, if you're getting bullied, and so on. And he suffers from racial discrimination. When that little kid goes up and the mom's like, no. Which makes me, and that with Nico, who's from Runaways, by the way, which is interesting. She's a lesbian in the comics and is pretty much confirmed to be a lesbian here as well. Why
Yeah.
did the voice actor for Spider-Man say the show is not woke, and his biggest fear with it was it being woke? This is pretty woke to me. I don't know.
The
And that's
thing
not
is,
a bad thing.
I don't even. Yeah, there's connotations that being woke is negative, but I don't think so. Like at all.
Yeah,
And like I like.
Well,
like
that's a separate discussion. Firstly, like so.
for
What
listeners,
does this voice actor's? What does he think the word
Woke
woke means?
is-
He's like,
yeah.
oh, I didn't want the show to be woke. And thank God it's not. Well,
Thing is,
does he mean because Peter Parker's white and straight? Is that what he means? It's not woke because Peter's straight and white. If he was gay, then it'd be a woke show. But his friends can be gay. That's fine, as long as the main character's untouched. I don't know.
Yeah, and like, listen, as a black man who's also had problems with police and stuff in terms of like just walking about your neighborhood and like getting stopped and searched. Like, I like to see, the struggles depicted on screen. Is it needed in a Spider-Man story? I don't know. I just think that it's a reality at this point. and I don't think that seeing that on TV is woke behavior, because it's just the world we live in. If characters are gay or straight or whatever, like I really don't. I don't care anyway. It's just a different walk of life. Otherwise, all forms of media will just be like the same thing, you know. So, yeah, if we see Lonnie's fucking crappy neighborhood and people staring at him on the tube and shit, like I don't see this as a bad thing at all. And I like to see, like, you know, different types of representation. So,
Yeah.
good work, Disney.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm liking what the show's putting down for the most part.
Yeah, no, I am pleasantly, like, surprised.
Yeah.
I still think it looks crap, but, like, I'm enjoying it.
What I don't like is, and it's basically the only thing I don't like other than visuals so far. Actually, there's two things.
The Uncle Ben
one,
thing pisses me off.
The Uncle Ben thing pisses you off a lot. I think it's just a consequence of the situation we're in. To me, that pisses me off more, like, with MCU pizza. Because now, obviously, we don't get an answer in the MCU.
We still don't know
about Uncle Ben or anything. But now I'm just making me think, okay...
It's been, like, 9 years.
Does that mean MCU Peter also got his powers after Uncle Ben died? Because, again, it would make sense why he didn't learn great power and great responsibility. And... Then that makes me more annoyed at the MCU than it does here, because to me this is a separate thing. The MCU is trying to be like the main way people get into Marvel and whatnot, so you would hope they try to be as faithful as possible, even though they keep making these damn changes for no reason. But anyway, whatever. Peter Parker in this show, once again, and I said this last time, has no chip on his shoulder. Once more, he has no edge, no backbone, no nothing. And he doesn't think the world's out to get him. He's actually...
He does get clowned on.
He gets a bit clowned on, but even then, not... Like...
He's just...
He's getting a lot of breaks in life. He's
in my notes,
to
I have Peter is too nice. There's nothing wrong with this guy.
Yeah. And it just keeps happening. Every interpretation. You get it. But even more that I don't like about this and that is... what we got in the 2017 Spider-Man show, and what we got in the Ultimate Spider-Man show to a lesser degree, I think. And that's that the side characters, Peter's cast of characters, we will apparently never get his original cast of characters from the comics again. Because those characters don't get powers. And that's boring. What we need is love interest, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, Liz Allen? No. We need Pearl, who in the comics is one of these like Atlas superheroes, whatever. She got like water powers.
About that, Lonnie says to Pearl, "Don't forget your goggles."
Yeah, she swims. So she's getting those water powers, bro. It's happening. Nico, she's one of the Runaways. She has powers. In episode 2, we got Amadeus Cho. We got the other friend, the white one. There's the Wakanda chick, Asha, and Amadeus Cho, and then the other one whose name I didn't write down, but I then found out later. She has like Taskmaster's powers. So she can just like memorize anything. And
she even had that joke, yes.
Yeah, she's like, I'll probably forget you. Yeah, but like, that's pretty funny when you realize like, no, she won't. But again, that's adding to this whole thing, like every character in the show will become a superhero or a supervillain. Both of Peter's teachers at this internship, one of them is the Lizard, and the other one is the Wizard.
One of them is a fucking lizard. It's crazy.
I also just realised those two words are the exact same of the first letter. I didn't clock it until now. But the Wizard and the Lizard, he knows them both now. The Wizard's a Fantastic Four villain.
Really want the Lizard to be this version of Peter's first villain. The way that the 90s show did it, the way that Spectacular did it, I think.
Spectacular was definitely one of the first few.
Yep. But the first episode
was definitely one of
in
his first
the
few.
90s one is the Lizard, so yeah. Give me some.
Although actually, I wouldn't mind the Lizard being like a long thing to wait for. Like in the Spider-Man movies, Tobey Maguire, 3 movies, we meet Kirk Connors in the second one, see him again in the third one, that guy never becomes a Lizard. He was going to be in the fourth one, apparently, but I like the idea that we just keep this character around a while and you don't think much of it, especially if let's say you know nothing about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Then a long time later, yo, his professor, or his like not professor, like this is not a school, but Miss Connors from the internship, Miss Connors from the internship, she's the lizard. What? That's crazy. Or turned into a lizard. I mean, again, they wouldn't know what it is. Not the point. But yeah, Whitman, is he even become the wizard, or is that a random name drop for no fucking reason? I doubt it. I feel like this might be the way we'll see the Fantastic Four in the show, because the wizard is a Fantastic Four villain.
Yeah.
Amadeus Cho isn't here, and that's interesting because his mum, I think, is in Age of Ultron. She's the one who made the cradle.
Yeah, she did.
And we've been waiting since 2015 to see Amadeus.
It's been 10 years, man. 10 years. That kid grew
and now
up.
Here we are. We finally see Amadeus, but he's in a different dimension show. Again, if the show was still its canon version, would Amadeus be in here? Would this be the way we meet Amadeus MCU? I'd love to know. We've also we met Butane, which is a villain from the comics who I've never heard of. But he looks a lot more like DC's Heatwave. His comics Butane look very different to one in here. This is like a realistic style. We've got okay. I think we're talking about Norman Osborn. My guy Norman with the waves.
Yes,
he comes in and he's pretty nice. Now, traditionally, he is really nice to Peter, and he's just a dickhead to Harry. But even when he's nice to Peter, it doesn't feel like nice. It feels like some kind of like slimy ulterior motive is always there. Here, he just seems like he's genuinely just being a nice guy.
I was under the impression that he knew who Peter was before the end of the second episode. Like, I think he went to his house knowing that something was up with this kid.
That he was Spider-Man.
Yeah, and that like also plays off with the Tony Stark thing, yeah.
Mm.
I don't like that Peter meets Harry before, like, as Spider-Man. He doesn't know him as Peter. I mean, in the comics, they don't meet until university, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, way down the line. But I do like Norman's inclusion in this universe. I think that's very interesting. Also, he knows he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, as of the second episode, the very end, he's found out he's Spider-Man, which is insane. Because we're doing it this early.
Yeah, exactly. That feels like a bit soon, but we'll see what they do with it.
We also don't know how short this show is going to be. Like, how many seasons is it going to end up going on for?
Maybe he won't even goblin out. Maybe we'll finally get the Hobgoblin.
I'm very interested to see episode 3. I need to know where we go with this. Because are we then going to start adapting the storyline from recent comics where, like, Peter works for Oscorp as Spider-Man and he gets an Oscorp suit or whatever and all that? Because people don't like that. Just saying. But that's also after Norman has been Green Goblin. This is before. So now Peter's a lot more justified in doing it. Very interesting to see where we go from here. Is he still part of the internship or is he going to be kicked out immediately? I need to know. That's true. Yeah. I've got a lot of questions. I guess we'll see.
What else do I have here?
2. I don't think I've got anything else from episode 1.
For me, I've got the Peter talks to this pizza guy about a thief who stole money, and he says that, give her a second chance and whatnot. See, that's what restored my faith in Spider-Man, because I was like, that's a really fantastic characterization of the character. And also, on the window, it says pizza time, and there's a job advert. There's a job advert saying that they need someone. So I'm thinking he's going to work there as Peter.
That's going to be really nice.
Yeah.
I would love that. If Peter comes back and then he's like, let's work. This guy's nice, I'll work for him. And he gives him Peter too many chances or whatever because he is a nice guy. He let the robber go and he gave Spider-Man free pizza or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. So I that's my hit prediction. I genuinely think he's going to work there. Job advert and pizza time.
Your prediction, he's going to work for this guy. He's going to be a great guy. And then the guy gets injured in this, and it's a consequence of Spider-Man.
Because we need weight. Please give us some Spider-Man weight. Because
he's going to end up in the hospital, and that's why he needs a new job. Daily Bugle.
Boom.
Finale. That's in the finale. Finale episode, or the episode right before. This guy gets injured, And then in the finale, Pete needs a new job. Boom, Daily Bugle, calling it out. And they're going to reveal J. Jonah Jameson, and ideally,
J.K. Simmons. He's an amazing voice
and
actor.
he'll be the last scene. It'll be like he'll walk in there and you'll meet Jonah Jameson, and you hear J.K. Simmons' voice there. Oh my god! And that's what ends up the show.
Mega crap.
Love it. Gotta see it. And you better have the mustache and the hair and everything.
Please. That's all the notes I have on episode 1, and
yeah, we talked about episode 2 a bit in there by accident.
Yeah, I didn't really make any specific notes for episode 2, other than I think I liked episode 1 more because it was kind of just like, you know, a window into Peter's life. Whereas episode 2 was kind of the thing is, it's called Parker Luck, but there wasn't really any Parker Luck involved, you know, in terms of like usually something awful will happen. Obviously, Peter had to leave to go fight this butane guy, but there wasn't really any repercussions because of that. If this was Sam Raimi's,
because he came back, and
true.
then the next thing we found out was he was caught out as Spider-Man. So because he had to go do that, he exposed his identity to the camera.
That's true. Okay, they're worth everlasting. Right,
we'll see.
I'm sure. I need that because like, if this was Sam Raimi's like Spider-Man, you know, he would have been fired, and then Aunt May would have been like blown up in the meantime while he was gone. Like, you know, that's just how sad those movies were. So I definitely want there to be some serious repercussions for that Parker Luck.
We'll see. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Episode 2, the notes I had were, I loved during the butane fight that Peter spent most of the time protecting all the animals in the, the little pets and stuff.
You know, what's also I like about that scene is, I don't know, listeners, I do like an animal course, and one of my assignments in the past was to like analyze and like, you know, make your own proper setup for a pet store, because there's actually lots of like laws and regulations about that. But that's a long story. But the setup in the actual episode was actually like relevant to what you would actually do in a real pet store. Because obviously, like, the snakes can't be next to the hamsters, and then he puts that in there in the episode, and the snake attacks the hamster, and I found that to be like rewarding just for me. Because I was like, that, you know what? That's something that you actually have to think about when you house animals.
Yeah. Speaking of, actually, that's a good point. Segues into, again, our friend Hidayfa watched this with us, and he pointed out that the science that not Kurt Connors, what was her name? Like, it was something else Connors, obviously, because she's not a dude.
Oh, Clara, I don't know.
Let's say Carly Connors. Until further notice, it's Carly Connors. You look up. Carly Connors and Peter were doing science together, obviously, and it was some kind of biology shit, because of course it's Connors. And Hidayfa pointed out that the science is actually accurate. Everything they were saying made sense, because he does biology of some kind. I forgot
Biomed.
Which one. Biomed, that's it, biomedicine. There we go, I knew that. And then, yeah. Anyway, yeah, and apparently it's accurate. So it's both the pets thing and this. They've been paying a lot of attention to things.
Yeah, like I enjoyed that. I think it's just Kurt.
That makes no sense. That's also not what she said. I don't know. We'll see. I like that the Asha, the other person in the internship, and she's from Wakanda, and it's like, I doubt that's going to be a big thing. I don't know if Asha's a character who also gets powers later on. I'll be really annoyed if she is. I prefer the idea. I really want her just to be someone from Wakanda. Just like, nice little world building, world connecting.
Yeah. That
doesn't impact anything crazy. Just a nice little thing. But at this rate, every other character is someone who gets powers, so she's probably going to get powers. Also, Flash Thompson's not in this universe.
Right. See, this Peter has it too good. He's just not bullied.
Yeah, because I only clocked that because someone pointed out when he was like, Parker, ouch, and he was being all cringe and weird when he was leaving. And you're like, the consequence of no Flash Thompson in this universe.
Oh, right.
Like, yeah, that's actually a good point. He's never been bullied. He's been okay with being a dog.
That's my thing about Marty McFly in Back to the Future, is the reason why he's not a wimp like his father's, because in this universe he doesn't have a Biff Tannen to bully him. So that's why he has confidence. He was never bullied as a kid. this Peter was never bullied, and that's why he's just weird.
Loser. And why he has no chip on his shoulder, and why he doesn't hate the world. And again, I don't like that, but whatever. And again, if this was meant to be an MCU thing, why isn't Flash Thompson here? Or was he going to be, and then they cut him out? Then again, he's in a different school now, and obviously Flash ain't coming to this school or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Interesting. We will see where this goes. Maybe Flash joins later.
Yeah.
He's got rich parents where they probably buy him into the school or some shit like that.
Yeah.
The lip syncing in the animation was very off. I noticed a lot. Some characters are talking and their mouths are not matching the timing of the word. That really pissed me off. And the last note I have is Peter has a cracked phone. His phone screen's
I like
cracked.
that. Yeah,
I like that a lot because my phone's fucking cracked. And I'm not Spider-Man.
You're basically
I'm not
Spider-Man, bro.
I don't leave the house, so how did I get that happen? Don't know. Of course, Peter's is cracked. It makes a lot of sense, and it makes me realize. And I don't think in Homecoming he had a cracked one. We see his phone a lot when he's like texting Happy. So yeah, his phone was fine. It was cheap as shit. It was a shit phone, but it was a looked after phone.
Yeah. The only other points I have is you don't see the spider sense. Maybe they'll build up to the MCU's version of the spider sense because I really love that like slow rising high pitch thing that was in No Way Home.
Yeah,
and I think if they could use that again, that would be sick.
Yeah,
I like the tubes that he has for the Mark 1 web shooters. I think they're really
his
cool.
His costume's pretty cool.
I actually really like it. It's a shame it looks awful in motion, like, but he's also like when he's swinging, he's not very good at it yet. So he's like falling on the floor a lot and like running on the street, and I quite enjoy that. It's like when I turn off Swing Assist on Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, he's making all sorts of mistakes.
Yeah.
This guy's got no Swing Assist.
I enjoy that a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my notes. How do you, will you come back next week? Are you going to be like dead on every Wednesday night or whatever? Watch this
I'm going to try. I'm going to hopefully watch watch it as it comes out. I don't want to miss them. But then again, I don't know, that I've been really bad at that recently. Like right now, Dragon Ball Daima is a show that's out. And it's been out for weeks. We're on like episode 14. I have watched only episode 1. And it's a show I want to watch. I just can't be asked. Yeah. I have nothing against the show. I love Dragon Ball, so why am I not watching it? I don't know. So maybe I'm not going to keep up with this one either unless you make me. But, you know, I have to talk about something. I have to talk about this every week. So I'll try my best to watch it on time. Yeah. We'll see.
I will rate the 2 episodes. I know you're rating them. I rate them short 7? 6. Yeah. 6.5.
I'll give it a
web sputters out of
I'll give it
10.
a web. I'll give it a web.
Okay.
That's not like 1. The web is the unit of some kind.
Bet.
The web means something. Whatever that means to you.
Yes.
I give it a nice thwip out of 10.
Oh, you know what? I like the thwip noises as well. So you know what? Yeah, 1 thwip.
Episode 1 was a nice thwip. Episode 2 was a swing. Whatever these mean, I don't know.
That is up to you guys. All right, so
my ratings will not be web-based with every show. It's just because of Spider-Man. It's not because we're called Westfires. I was waiting with Spider-Man related things.
Yes,
actually, I give episode 2 Norman's Waves out of 10. There we go. There we go. That's my answer.
I give it that corgi.
Oh yeah, that corgi looked fucking weird.
It was the weirdest dog I've ever seen
that
in my
dog
life.
did not look good.
Alright, so that wraps up Spider-Man talk.
Alright, I think that's all we've got for today. I think that's what we can say. We'll be back next week or at some point. We're a bit later with this episode than the last one.
We're a day behind, but this wraps up this episode. Episode 2.
We'll see you next time. We're talking about the next episode for Night with Spider-Man and anything else that comes up. Maybe we might try to involve some kind of games or something, maybe some kind of quiz to test each other.
Okay. Yeah, that could be.
I was actually thinking about doing that for this one, but then I forgot to prepare it, and now we've gone long enough anyway. So we'll do it next time. Next time we'll do a quiz.
Okay, cool. You can follow us at the Web Sputterers YouTube channel, and you can find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, I think Apple Music. And Leon, do you want to plug your Instagram?
Oh yeah. Once again, still no update from last time. I've still not posted anything, but maybe I will. It is penisn't with a pen_isn't on Instagram, and yeah, I occasionally apparently draw stuff, mainly fan art like Marvel and Dragon Ball stuff, and sometimes some original creatures or whatever. I've been meaning to post something for a while. Hopefully, I'll get that done soon. But yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm at web_sputters on Instagram as well, so you can drop us a follow there. If you want to get in contact with the show, just text us there. If any suggestions or feedback or reviews, we will be glad to see them and listen to them.
Unless it's mean, then keep it to yourself.
Yes.
We don't like that.
Rate us 1 Web and 1 Norman Wave on Spotify.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, and we'll see you for the next one. So, bye.
Bye.